and welcome to Series 1 of Tackle Up. Today we're here at Partridge Lake Fishery, where we've got a variety of species across the lake, from mallard, duck, geese, and of course a lot of fish. I mean, if we just take a walk down here, I mean, we just look at the reeds and how they're in fine bloom. I mean, it's got quite a nice biodiverse atmosphere. I mean, there's laurels, and then of course the main bush in the middle of the island, where of course all the fish like to gather at night. And then we're going to just take a walk over to our Pegasus. You can see some duck there right now with the little geese. Oh, look at the little ducklings. Okay, let's take a walk down. Right, step one. And of course, for any fishery or anywhere you go where you're fishing, you'll need ground bait. And today we've gone for the moist, crumbly ground bait, which involves bits of sweet corn, pellets, and of course luncheon meat. Now, first of all, the sweet corn. We chose sweet corn to go for the vibrant colour and to give it a nice firm texture. Also, we've got luncheon meat, which also attracts big carp, found in areas such as the reeds. And of course, your basic feeder pellet, which you can pick up from any tackle shop close by to you for a very cheap price. It just keeps the carp feeding. So, in terms of mixing, we've just got the basic powder, and we've mixed it in beforehand, before we mix the water with, like I've said before, the 3 ingredients. And I do like to use a knife because it just saves your fingers from getting a bit sticky. So what we do is we put it all in the pot, and we just give it a nice mix together before we put the water in, and then just kneel on the bank, be careful not to fall in, of course, we wouldn't want that. And just get a nice little bit of water just to start with. You don't want to overfill it with water because it'll give it a bad texture. And just give it a nice swill around like this, and just feel it between your fingers till it starts to make clumps like this. It smells wonderful. And then once you've got that, it starts to go a bit more crumbly, and once again put a little bit more water in. And then this will keep it nice and clustery, so when you're feeding on the likes of rod, when it goes in the cage, it'll stick together lovely. So once you've got the ground bait, just give it a mix together and really feel it in your hands. Look at it making balls. It's perfect. And that is it really. I mean, we've got other types of ground bait today. We've got the spicy hot ground bait. This is a method bag, and as you can see, it's only very cheap, and you get a nice big bag of it. And it's good for types of bream, carp, tench and barbel. But today we really did go for the green Thai ground bait, because that's what we want today. We want carp, and carp's our main fish for today, so that's what we'll be using. Right, and of course, once you've made your bait in stage 1, stage 2 is making the rod rig. Now today we've equipped ourselves with a 9-foot rocket picker. It's a nice long rod with a quiver tip equipped at the end, and a red reel, red being my favourite colour of course. It's got a forward and back spin, and it's got a nice bit of pull, and it's got a bait runner at the bottom to adjust, etc. Right, now in terms of the bait, let me reach over. Ow. Right. On the hook, we're going to have a nice piece of yellow sweet corn. Okay? Now hook through the top of the sweet corn and let it roll round. Now the thing with Partridge Lake Fishery, there's some very big fish near the reeds, which is of course later on where we're going to be casting. So I think it's appropriate to attach another piece of bait, which we put in the ground bait earlier, this being luncheon meat. Once again, through the middle and round the hook. And now of course, make sure you take your luncheon meat from the ground bait bucket, because you want all the nice green, tangy substance around your hook length bait. Right, now, in terms of the rig itself, just move this rod. Position it. So today we've gone for a basic cage model. Nice and easy for any beginner to set up. You just attach the cage to your line so it's free rolling. Attach a AAA weight so it cannot pass, do not exit. And just let it roll around in the water without it getting snagged on bushes, trees, roots, branches, etc. Now in terms of the hook itself, we've gone for a 7-pound hook length, equipped with a 10-pound main line. This therefore allows the fish to give a pull in the quiver, but it won't snap your line, which is vital at Partridge Lake fishery on the basis there's some mighty carp in that water, I'm telling you. Right, now in terms of getting the bait itself, which we made earlier, into the cage, you've got to go for the finger and thumb method. This is very simple, yet very, very, very effective. So you've got your finger and thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb. Almost scoop it like a shovel, like you're a shovel. You're like Bob. And in it goes. And that'll stay stationary while you cast, because you don't want all your bait flying illy-nilly around the blooming lake, do you? Eh? So keep it nice and tight while you cast. This will give you a nice, appropriate dunking point. And now we're ready to cast. Now let's take a walk here. Now as you can see, we've picked an appropriate place to cast in the minor cove over there, and we've been feeding this up over a cross of 2 hours with 4-meal pellet, as I showed you earlier, the bit of sweet corn which you're going to use as your bait, and of course the main ground bait. Now for this cast, it's just a simple flick of the wrist, because you don't want to overpower it into the bush. So first of all, place your finger onto the reel, flick the bail arm over, pull with your middle index finger across. This will give you a bit of line to give a bit of give to make sure you get the appropriate place. So in terms of the cast, get a nice steady swing going first. Take a look at where you want to cast, and with a simple flick of the wrist, it'll be simple. 1, 2, 3, and flick the wrist, and in the cast it goes. Moving here, it's only been a matter of minutes and already the ground bait's proven too good for the fish. Just look at the end of the rod tip, it's a strong fish, it's a strong fighter, we're yet to see it yet. It's fighting well on surface. Okay, we're bringing it up now, let's see what we all... Oh, it's massive. Oh, look at that. Let me get me net. Damn. Don't want to lose this one. Netting skills are simple. Swoop under the fish and pull up. Ah. Lever's got away. Under the fish, scoop up, and we're in. We've got our first fish on the rod. Right, let's take a look at him. Oh, he's smooth. Oh. Oh, he's... Oh. Okay, luckily, he's unhooked himself. Let's get the hook out of the net to start with. Now, it's good to know, everyone, not to panic at this moment in time, because fish... Oh, goodness. Oh, I think I got a scale in my mouth. Partridge at its primest. The ground bait worked to perfection. We were only in the water 10 minutes and already we had a nice 1-pound silverfish. But it wasn't the carp we were looking for. So luckily, we've got another hour or so we're going to preset the rod up and we're going to go in again. The rod's been preset up, like we said before. We've got a nice bit of ground bait in the method, and we've got sweet corn on the hook. So we're going to try and get right to the edge of this cove, where all the carp are congregating around the outer side. It's a good time now, it's about 4:30, just when the carp are back out feeding. So like I said before, just nice and easy. Into where the carp are congregating, no problem. Oh!